Mustang is probably one of the greatest cars that have ever been made in the history of America. But at the same time, there have been arguments about which one is best. And on today, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why the Foxbody Mustang is the greatest Mustang of all time. All right, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy, Kenneth Sean, with the world famous built versus bought. Now, today's topic, I'm going to cover why the Foxbody Mustang is one of the greatest Mustangs ever. And I'm going to give you 10 reasons why. Now, I also want to say that these reasons are not in any order. So this is not the best to the worst or whatever, but it's not in any order. And so I'm just going to give you 10 reasons why I feel the Foxbody Mustang is the greatest Mustang ever made. Now, one of the prerequisites to this is that I have been saying for a long time that the Foxbody Mustang is now the new 69 Camaro. For you all that don't understand what that means or what I mean by that, there was a time where the 69 Camaro was like the pinnacle of desired sports car to modify. Now we're coming into a space where the Foxbody Mustang is now becoming that. Recently at SEMA, we saw the first Foxbody Mustang that was on a roadster chassis. And it may not be the first ever, but it was the first one debuted at SEMA. So much so that USA Today, I want to make this clear, USA Today is now talking about the Foxbody Mustang, and they use that car as an example. I can't make this stuff up. The Foxbody Mustang is trending. When I revealed last year about Roadster Shop dropping that chassis, I'm like, there are companies that are spending millions of dollars to invest into the future of the Foxbody Mustang. So what does that ultimately mean? It means six-figure builds are happening. Look, somebody can go even extreme and maybe do a seven-figure build, maybe. I'm not saying they are or not, but it could happen. And what it's doing is that it's causing a lot of controversy in the community. So with that, I'm going to give you all some solid reasons why the Foxbody Mustang is the greatest Mustang of all time. It saved the Mustang. Literally. In the late 1970s, Ford had went through this phase where they were going to do a rebadge Ford Probe and turn the Mustang into something totally different. But the consumers said, no, you need to make this thing still be rear-wheel drive and still an 8-cylinder. And then from there, the outrage happened so much that Ford had created the rear-wheel drive V8 that we see so far. I can also go as far as say is that if the Foxbody Mustang, and I'm referring 79 to 1993, the Fox platform can go from 79 to 2004, but I'm talking about 79 to 1993. I'm going to go as far as to say that if this one or if this Mustang was not created, your S197s, your GT500s, all of those that came after it, or even S550, probably wouldn't exist today. Number two, it was a lightweight platform. So for you all that don't know, the Foxbody Mustang can weigh anywhere between 2,800 pounds to 3,000 pounds, depending on what you do. And the power to weight ratio gave this car a great advantage. So this is why back in the 90s, a lot of guys would get these cars. They would put motors in them and you could just go fast real quick. But then back then it was also cheap as well. But then it's also, one of those things where the Foxbody Mustang just kind of set the standard for modern V8s. And to be honest with you, with that weight advantage, it had an unfair advantage if you were a Foxbody Mustang owner. Number three, it's one of the most modifiable Mustangs ever. You got so many stuff that can bolt on, every major performance company, which goes back to what I said in the earlier videos. From suspension to chassis, engine swaps, interiors, like you got everybody that's a player in this game. You literally have companies that have established themselves just off of making Foxbody parts alone. Not to say that other cars don't have that, but I'm saying just this is an older car, and we're talking about companies that are starting now making parts for the Foxbody platform. It's a difference when it's the S550 and companies are jumping on, but I'm talking about this car is 30 years old. And now we're starting companies to make parts for it. That's crazy. The aftermarket boom came after the Foxbody platform. Look it up. And I'm not just making this up. And then as it relates to swap options, you know, you can put literally anything in this car. Now, I know somebody can argue and say, well, we can put anything in any car. Okay, I get it. But no Mustang has more swap options than the Foxbody Mustang. 302, 351, 4.6, Coyote, 5.2 Illuminator. And for those who may not like it, I'm going to say it in the mic and I'm not going to look in the camera. The LS.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Next thing, it was one of the, my fourth point is as it relates to street racing. Street racing was happening before the Foxbody Mustang. But if any of you all were around during the 90s, this was the street racing Mustang. Now, let me make this clear what I mean by that. You couldn't have found another Mustang that had more street racing happening than the Foxbody Mustang in the 90s. None of the older versions were street racing like that. The Foxbody Mustang in the 90s, in the 80s and the 90s, was the street racing machine. You know, and obviously street racing is not legal, but the reason why is because it was so light and it was affordable to put parts in it and to make it. You could literally put 300 horsepower in a Foxbody, and man, you probably running 11 seconds and a quarter mile because it's so low. It's so light, I mean. And then on the street, I mean, it was so many things. As a person that was a part of that era and saw it, I seen some of the things people were able to do. I seen how they hid nitrous kits and made their motor look stock, but then they're beating everybody and cars are lifting up in the air and things of that nature. It's crazy. Number 5, the 5.0 engine became a cultural icon. You cannot see the 5.0 badge at all and not know that that badge is legendary. But when you see that badge, what is the car that you automatically think of? The car that it was attached to. Let me make this clear to everybody. Back in the day, the Foxbody Mustang was not called a Foxbody. All right, I want to make that clear. It was called the 5.0, to the point that even Vanilla Ice made a song called Rolling in My 5.0. Even in Ice Ice Baby, he says Rolling in My 5.0. Vanilla Ice is a major contributor to the success of this car. Nobody was calling it, you know, a Mustang. Everybody was calling it a 5.0 during that time. Then later on, the name Foxbody was established, but 5.0 is just legendary, and not too many cars have that legendary status or that legendary symbol that define what the car is. And so, man, it really, really changed the game. Shout out to Vanilla Ice. My 6th point. The Foxbody Mustang kind of brought in what we can consider modern engineering. 1986, now we're introducing fuel injection, and the EFI was born. And then after that, you know, this is kind of the thing that even goes and crosses over to the SN95s, because once that was created, once we now have EFI, once we have fuel injection, once we now have computers, that is where modernization actually happened. 1986, it changed the game for the Foxbody. Then, you know, in 87 is when they actually changed the design to the Aero look that we all know. And I believe the Aero look is the more popular ones, 87 and 93, but that's when it kind of crossed over to that. So you are now having the evolution of modernization being put inside of this car, and now fuel injection is taking over. There are no more carburetor Mustangs coming from Ford anymore. And so it laid the foundation for good engineering. They even started changing suspension, better handling, better electronics. All of these things literally happened within this car. Now, if you compare it to something to today, yeah, the suspension, all that, nowhere near where it is today. But what I'm saying, during that time and during that era, it laid the foundation for modern engineering. Now, just like I talk about the Foxbody being street racing legends, number 7, it was also a drag strip legend. And when we break down, like, the Foxbody was just doing crazy numbers in the drag strip back in the day. But now with even more modern technology, I mean, you can run whatever you think in your mind. But You know, back in the day, you know, seeing a Fox body in the 8s and 9s was not uncommon. You know, it dominated the NMRA with the small tire. You know, like a lot of people didn't have those cars mini tub. You know, so man, you use a small tire slick or whatever. It was dominating that. They were the first to regularly run 7s, 8s, and 9s. You know, before Coyotes came out. Let me say that again. Foxbody Mustangs was running 7s, 8s, and 9s after track before the Coyote motor came out. Damn! And then now we're talking about 30, 40 years later, and this car is still competitive at the drag strip because of its lightweight. You are literally seeing guys with stock Coyote motors, stock in a Foxbody Mustang that can run 9 seconds. Stock, and I'm talking about quarter mile, stock Coyote motors running 9 seconds. Crazy. My 8th point is that the design is just timeless, and the more that technology and new things come out, it makes it even look even more better. The lines on the Fox body is super clean, sharp edges. You know, some of the things about the Fox body that modern cars don't have is just like the nostalgia of it is one thing, and then when you modernize it, it's another thing, and you can't miss it when you see it. If you are driving down the street and you see a Fox body, it's got that classic look. Only being 30 plus, 40 plus years old, it's got that classic look. But then also you can put a touch of modern to it and really just take it to the next level. You know, now I'm gonna say this, man, please do not crucify me. But the notchback, and I'm not saying this because I'm an owner, but the notchback probably has the most iconic silhouette or the most iconic look of all time. Hands down, the notchback. And this was not the car when in the 80s and 90s, people was just taking notchbacks, cutting them up, whatever. And now it's becoming the most desirable one. Nothing against 93 Cobras, nothing against GTs, LX hatchbacks, but we all know the notchback is almost like the go-to of when you think about a Foxbody Mustang. Number 9, I would say one of the things about the Foxbody Mustang that is causing even an issue now is that the Fox Mustang was like the car that was affordable for people and accessible. So this what we can call, this Mustang was for the people. You know, now we're coming into a space where it ain't affordable like that no more. But unlike some of the classic Mustangs, you know, your 67s, you know, 69s, all of that, this was one that was actually affordable, even up until recent. It was still affordable to do certain things, and it was just like crazy, and they sold so many of them. It created such a big buzz that, you know, you could actually buy them, break them, buy it again. Throw parts on it, mess it up, change those parts, buy it again. If I tear this one up, I can go get another one. If I damage this Fox body, I can go get another one very cheap. I know that because I believe I've had 6 or 7 in my lifetime, and one I had damaged somebody else's and had to get them another one. So I understand that the Fox was always affordable, but now because the demand is so high and the supply is getting lower, now the affordability is kind of going down the tube to an extent, which is why some of these companies are now doing 6-figure Fox bodies. But here's the thing. I know as of today, I know of 4 builds that are in the 6 figures. And a lot of people don't want to hear me on that, but I know of 4 builds off the top of my head. The people that are doing it will never say it, but they're in the 6 figures. And a lot of your favorite builds are in the 6 figures. Just because it's spent one time or over the course of 10 to 15 years, 6 figures is 6 figures. If you spent that level of money, then you spent it. And so pretty much, you know, it was the affordable car, but I think we're coming away from that. You know, there's still a level of it there, but I don't think it's going to be that forever. And number 10, as of today, the Fox body is still relevant 40 years later. I'm going to throw another one in here that may make a lot of you all mad. Name an event where Mustangs, a specific genre of Mustangs, show up and you have close to 1,000 of them. The reason why I'm waiting is because you might not have an answer for that. So what do I mean? For example, Foxtoberfest this year, 2025, had almost 900 Foxbody, I won't say Mustangs because, you know, Foxbodies could be, they go past just Mustangs. But they had over almost 900 Foxbodies. So let's just say if I pull 200 away, you know, because you got to consider Lincoln Mark 7s and all the other things that are considered Foxbodies, the majority of them are Mustangs. So let's say it was 700. What other event out there has that? You know, we got Motor City Fox Fest bringing in, you know, they bring in Mustangs from 79 to 04 because they use the Fox platform. And they're averaging 500 to 600. Like, these are two separate events. Chocolate Fox, 200 to 300. Like, what events are out there for GT500s where you have hundreds of vehicles coming in specifically for that one car, specific, tailored to those years? I don't believe it's out there. Mustang Week brings everybody together. Ponies and the Smokies brings everybody together. It brings all the Mustangs together. And these are amazing events. But I am saying specifically focused on that one platform where the number is above 500. That just proves the point that I'm trying to make, is that they're still relevant. They're becoming more relevant. No Mustang in any generation has had more longevity than the Foxbody Mustang. We now have high-end builders that are coming in, building these things. We still have new parts. If you pay attention to LMR or any of these other companies, there's still new parts coming out for the Foxbody Mustang. And people are still swapping engines into them. So the bottom line is that the Foxbody Mustang is here to stay. But I'm telling you all, not only is it the greatest Mustang ever, but it's going to be the strongest platform in my opinion. And I'm about to say something now, and I'm going to throw this in as a bonus because you might get upset, but it's all good. As the person who has deemed himself personally the Foxbody advocate, you know, I love all cars. I love all Mustangs. Don't get me wrong. The Foxbody is just my favorite, but a lot of the points that I'm making really just kind of hit home to a lot of the people that are watching this channel. But I'm going to throw a bonus in here. Without the Foxbody Mustang, Ford would have never created the Coyote.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Whew. Why would they come out and spend millions of dollars into a platform? Because that 5.0 had to be rebirthed. They had to figure out how to make the S550 be the new thing, like the Foxbodies were. And I'm saying to you all, without the original 5.0, without the original 302, without the original Foxbody, the S550 platform may not be what it is. Because I'm going to be honest with you all. I believe the S550 platform is the platform that saved the Mustang again. Because if you look at what was going on from 2005 to 2009, and there was a big struggle from 2005 and even going up outside of the GT500s, there was a struggle with Mustangs. But I believe that the Foxbody Mustang is the reason why the S550 that you have at home, or why that GT5, whatever you want to call it, GT500, whatever you have at home, exists the way that it does today. Now, I know that everybody's not going to agree with my stance on that, but I would love to hear your comments on what you believe is the best Mustang platform ever. That's not a singular year, because some of you all are going to tell me, man, the 67s were it. The 69 was it. Okay, cool. But I'm talking about the whole platform. Let me know your thoughts. And if you like this video, do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe. And if I made you mad, I apologize, and I love you with the love of Jesus. It's your boy, Kendall Sean with Bill vs. Bought. I am out.